Hello and welcome, guys. I wasn't going to stream tonight, and I've had a change of heart because I think there's something that people should see if you've not given this a try yet. If you've seen the title of the Twitch video, then you know what's going to happen. But I've given it a try tonight, and it's quite staggering. So it's well worth a watch. My voice is failing me, so you'll have to forgive what I sound like. I'm just dallying because I'm looking for a bottle opener of sorts. I've got a bottle of Brooklyn. So, to recap, this is the GameCube version of Resident Evil 3. It's not the version I think is the best, it's not even the most fully featured, the Dreamcast one you want to go to. If you want all the PC features and a console experience. However, some modders and some fans have done something rather special with this version, and as of this week was released the HD fan project, if you like. And it's really cool in that you enable it with the push of a button. And so here's a title screen, for example, and all I do is push a button and we go bang into full HD. Everything's looking really nice. So we'll just wait for a few people and then we'll get started. No, I haven't died. I haven't even got started yet. Just waiting for a couple of people to come on. How are you doing, sir? That'll be repeating on you for hours. Mr. Spencer, hello there. I am fine, thank you. A bit of an impromptu stream, because this really, if you haven't had a chance to see this yet, then it's well worth looking at. So, if you gaze at the title screen, forgive my voice, it's failing me. But yeah, if you look at the title screen now, and if I press this button, then you'll know which version of the game this is. Now, unfortunately, there's not really a lot they can do with the FMVs at the minute, and as such, this doesn't use the FMVs from the PC Source Next version, unfortunately. So they don't look great, and I haven't even downloaded the upscale pack. But this is the modified GameCube version using the new heavily upscale backgrounds. I've got Resident Evil 2 working as well, but this is just the work that these guys have done is phenomenal, and we'll maybe go on to Resident Evil 2 later.
It all began as an ordinary day in September, an ordinary day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
The gameplay is so slick on this. It was a real step back when we finally got to play Code Veronica. And the good thing about the GameCube FMVs is they at least run at 60 frames a second. It's just the resolution's a bit impaired. I understand, Nick. That was one for the ages, I understand. He did, Mr. Spencer, yes. I'll be honest, Kendo, I'm no good with the dodge either. I'm absolutely terrible with it. And the less said about my dodging ability in Revelations, the better. backgrounds? This is honestly like seeing this for the first time. It's ridiculous. For comparison, you can't really see it there, it's not a great example. I'll change it in this cutscene coming up.
September 28th, daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive.
I'm sure we've got some Catherine Disher Jill fans here. Or Jean Grey from the X-Men.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there. How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere. I'd rather starve to death in here than be
Hello
eaten by
JC,
one of
it
those
is mate.
monsters.
And it looks
Now leave me alone.
rather special. I'll put RE2 on later.
I told you. I'm not leaving. Never.
So once again, just an interesting little tidbit to point out. The "Just Get Away From Me" line is missing from the PlayStation 1 version here. And like, I mean, let's just see what this background looks like. That's quite a detailed background. So if I hit the key now, it reverts. So if you look at the forklift on the left, look how pixelated and they've had to do a bit of a thing with these backgrounds, because when they previously used to upscale the backgrounds, anything in the foreground that the character would actually go behind would appear in segments, like you'd see lines, visible lines going through it. So they've had to use like different algorithms, if you like, with the upscale process. But one key, press later, and just look at the difference. It's just ridiculous. This is like way better than I'd ever hoped. I mean, for me, you could release this. This is fully releasable. Again, the forklift on the left, the light hanging from the beam on the top. It's just details that I don't even think you had back in the day. It's just crazy. Again, I'll use this background. You only have to look at the railings, the boxes on the bottom, and we go again. And honestly, Capcom. The thing that frustrates me about a process like this is that the fans have done this yet again. It's like the Resident Evil 4 HD version. You know, this is possible with, I imagine, a certain amount of time and investment. I don't know how much like financial ramifications would be for doing something like this, but it's possible. And the fact that fans are getting there before, you know, Capcom themselves, it does speak volumes. levels. There's not been a lot of work done to the inventory sort of item icons. I can't wait to see what the RPD looks like. Because historically the RPD backgrounds, you know, they're not the best looking now. So how's everyone's weekend been? It's been quite the weekend if you're into your sports. We had Wimbledon conclude today and the Cricket World Cup. I mean, they have done like loads of character work and they've updated a lot of the effects as well. So I think like the gun blasts are actually new. And gone is the sort of pixelation of the previous effect. Indeed, yo. Nice to see you. How you doing? Fucking auto aiming isn't on as default. I like it. Oh, that's annoying. I got shafted by that zombie there. Absolutely shit. Let me move out of the way. Just look at that, there's a detail on that police officer's face that was never there. To be honest, I can't wait to show you guys Resident Evil 2 because, I mean, obviously, you know, historically the backgrounds for this game were a little bit higher quality anyway, and we were spoiled by quite a few years with the 640 by 480 backgrounds of the PC version. The Resident Evil 2 ones have always been lost a little bit to time. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what Resident Evil 2 is going to look like. I've only had the briefest of looks, I didn't even get to the police station. It is Yoke, yeah. So basically, they've created a custom version of Dolphin, which is the GameCube emulator. What am I doing? It uses like a custom version of the Dolphin emulator, and within that custom version is all the new backgrounds, and it sort of, from what I understand, it replaces in real time the backgrounds as you play through them, which is how you can actually toggle them with the delete key on your keyboard, and that's how you go between the backgrounds. So as you can see, the railing's all pixelated, and then with one push of the delete key, you get the new upscales. I know they've done other various little tweaks and stuff. I mean, I've never been able to read that text before, I don't think. Alcoholic beverages prohibited. Bloody hell. Did that zombie always take one shot? Or did I just get a lucky one there? Literally all you do, Johnny, is you download the the custom emulators off the website, and as long as you've got access to the ROMs, which obviously I'll leave to your own devices, then you just literally drop that in the directory, you run the executable, and it's as easy as that.
Brad, hang in there. Why isn't someone doing something about this?
I didn't know you were still alive, Jill. The police aren't trained for this kind of situation. What could they do?
It's after Stars members.
Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after Stars members. There's no
The thing is, like, I'm looking at these backgrounds, and this is all I wanted Capcom to do. If they could just make the game look like this on modern consoles, I'd be happy as anything. I would pay good money for this. I mean, this background is particularly rough look. And then, bang. Again, I can't wait to get to the. I cannot wait to get to the police station. It's going to look immense. Now, they have indicated there's some slight issues, and if you go on the website, you can read them. Like some of the textures through the upscale process have become a bit wobbly in places, but that's generally only under real close scrutiny. But this is looking really nice. It's just a shame that at present they can't get it working with like the PC version, the Source Next version. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, the FMVs are still the GameCube versions, and that's not the best. It really would be nice if we could get this working with the Source Next version of the game. Oh god, I suck at this game. It's been so long. Well, it's not been so long. It was about a year ago. It was, wasn't it? The Engage version of Resident Evil 4. I never owned an Engage, but it was a terrible thing, wasn't it? Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, that's battling Nemesis out the window then. That was a real schoolboy error. I meant to make some shotgun shells. Alas. Okay guys, there it is in all its glory. The new upscale actually helps the RPD stand out against the sky in a really nice way. It's quite subtle but really effective. In fact, it's a really good looking building out here. I've never really taken the time to appreciate it here. A beautiful town! That's the beauty of pre-rendered backgrounds though, Yoke, I think. They always have that kind of weird quality to it.
Jill!
Brad!
We've got to... Jill! Help!
No! Brad?
Still the best ever Stars voice. Well, so here we go. How it used to look. look at that. Take particular note of the railing in front of Jill just here on the raised level. Christ. Oh, what have they done? Oh no, I'm not a fan of that, guys. I'm not a fan of that. They've just made this project non-canon. I don't fucking believe this. But just take a look at the fucking RPD badge on the floor when I put it into the new upscales. Why would they do that? These guys have not done their homework. They have not played Outbreak File 2. That is a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. I'm afraid for this camera angle, guys, we're going to have to go classic. Why can't they just update the art? Do not modify another director's work. If they've done that with our Resident Evil 2, I'm not going to be happy with that. I'll show you in the wide angle. Shut it down. Shut it down now. So, the original background. RPD. Original timeline. The museum was converted to a police station in the late 80s. Let's see what it looks like in this fan upscale. Oh, they've added the 1969 to it, thus rendering this non-canon. And it's a shame because it looks great. But they've actively brought part of the remake into this, and I don't like it. I'll be interested to see what Jill's badge says actually. I'll have to get it from the yeah, we'll have to have a look. See the JoJo locker very clearly. So all the text got updated as well. But yeah, I can't deny my little disappointment with that, guys. To be honest, that's the first time I've seen that, and yeah, it's an Easter egg I'm not keen on, to be honest. God, I don't remember any of these. That's the only change I've noticed so far. A positive change I'd like to see when we go to play Resident Evil 2 is that they put the broken window texture from this. It's really funny. It is. Don't mock me. You've got to be particular. Oh man. Getting owned by Cerberus. Oh, Dead Man's Click, do you see that? You're not a fan of the Cerberus name for the dogs, then? They couldn't even record the Choco Cola things or whatever. But again, like, you know, this basketball poster texture, that's mad. It's like they've actually gone back and found the original. In fact, that's actually changed. That's actually a changed image. Look at that, they've gone in and changed the art. How do you feel about that? Okay, is this you're gonna have to remind me, guys, is this a nifty Easter egg that they've put in? But that Jill, the photo of Jill on this card is... In fact, I can check her. They've actually updated that with the actress from the original. Yeah, that's I suppose you could say that's a nifty little Easter egg, if you like. The thing I was looking for on her stars card was, did it say 1969 on there as well? It doesn't. So. Oh man, it's a good thing I'm not actually you know, playing this to finish it. It's just a little bit of a run round. because I really do suck tonight. Indeed, JC. Indeed. And the fan theories are endless. Oh, God, you get so used to auto aim, Christ. I'm pleased they didn't fix the double L in Welcome Leon, however. I'm not properly playing this. I'd be that appalled by this run that I'd have to start again if I was playing it properly. I didn't read that. No, 513. I've never found this game particularly difficult to sort of get through and finish, but to sort of get through and finish it well, I always struggled with. I was never very good at fighting the Nemesis. I just tend to load up on freeze rounds and just stand there and take the hits. I was definitely a lot better at Resident Evil 2 in terms of like dodging and you know, fighting and things like that. I never realised just how brown all the zombies are in this. There's just literally so many just wearing the same attire. So it's going to be interesting to see if the STARS photo's got an upscale. And it hasn't. But interestingly, the upscaler has changed the colours. So that's the original, non-upscaled. That's the upscaled. Weird. You can see the mansion items a little bit more clearly, so we've obviously got the gold emblem, the red doom book, and randomly 3 bags of herbicide. So they've actually gone in and done some minor texture work, because if you look at the Made in Heaven jacket, it doesn't actually align between the backgrounds, so they've actually gone back and reworked that. Yeah, I know. And the game has decided to give me the grenade launcher. I can't remember if that's a speedrunner's Bane or well, that's a nice upscale on the gun.
No! Come anyone! Our platoon is cut off! No survivors found! This is Carlos! Send in support immediately!
I tell you, if they've gone back and added the broken window to Resident Evil 2, it won't balance 1969 in it by any means, but it'll alleviate some of the pain. I'm just gonna kill these things. I'll put RE2 on in a minute. I'll just clear the area because there was something nifty I noticed just back here. Because now you can actually properly read the inscription, which I think is awesome. Let's just check. That's it, it's completely ineligible. So they have, I mean, you can see that's not the same texture at all. They've actually gone in and added that. So when necessary, they have actually gone in and changed the art in places. And I'm alright with things like that, I suppose. I mean, I don't think that's perhaps as good as it could look. You could argue some of the original aesthetic is lost a little bit, but it's a nice touch. You guys are not gonna look. I can't be the only one that's bothered by it. Surely this is a really good like upscale project. I'm actually blown away by how good this looks, but I just don't like tweaks and changes like that. I just think they're unnecessary. You've actually you've introduced broken canon to games that it's not. Do not mock me. I'm fighting for the canon, seemingly on my own here. I'm not bothered about picking that up. Wow, so the game's fucking crashed on me. Let's ignore. I've got a prompt up where it says CPU thread too fast, and it's let me carry on. For some reason, I guess it just didn't like loading in the Nemesis. Oh look, there it is again. The interesting thing is that I don't know whether the RE2 version will have it, because I seem to think the RE2 upscale came out before the remake was released. So then, although that said, that's now been updated to 1.1, so it probably will. And, right, so let's take one last gorgeous look at the RPD against the night sky now. It looks really ominous. I actually quite like that. It's very basic, but I like that. If I go through this door and the fucking wolf pack that are there, patched into the game, I'll lose it. Catholic Student Centre. They always said that, I just never read it before. I'm sort of taking more notice of the details. I'll just play it for a little bit longer and then I'll get Resident Evil 2 fired up. Right, so what I'll do then, I won't even bother saving it because this isn't a run worth saving. I will I'll just kill the video while I get the other one set up, and then I'll relaunch it with Resident Evil 2. So yeah, let's just chat amongst ourselves while I sort that. Just bear with. Would I ever stream fighting games in the future? If I was any good with them, I would. But my ability in a fighting game is really not worth streaming. I'm not that good at all. I love them. I love fighting games, you know, just as much as I love things like Resident Evil. But I am pretty rubbish at them. I'm forever silver in Street Fighter 5, unfortunately, and that will never change. I'm not very good at Soul Calibur. I'm the best at Street Fighter 5, and I really like the new Samurai Showdown. But again, I'm not to the point where there'd be just no point streaming them, because 90% of the stream would be me losing and dropping combos, and no one wants to see that. It's not very exciting, especially when there's really good tournaments on every weekend and things like that. So. Yeah, I've got it on PlayStation 3 and 4. Infinite is. I genuinely believe Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will go down as one of the greatest tragedies of Capcom's career. the story of that game. And anyone who's actually given it any time of day will know. I said this on the last stream actually, that it's got one of the best versus tag systems of probably any game. But the presentation is amongst one of the worst you'll see in any modern game. It's sort of staggering how poorly presented Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is against how good the gameplay is. Yeah, it's a real tragedy. I'm just sorting out the controls. You have to run Resident Evil 2 and 3 through a separate version of Dolphin each time. So I've just literally set it up in different directories. So each emulator needs configuring. But anyone who's ever used Dolphin will know it's dead easy. It's a really nice emulator to use. Traditionally, through my Street Fighter years, I've always been a Ken player, but I've really gelled with Karen in Street Fighter 5. So she is my main in that. Okay, right. Well, here we go. I don't know why the FPS counter's running on this version. I'm just going to go grab another beer, and then we'll get started. Hello. Beer, fruit juice. No, Nick. I'm drinking Brooklyn, which is a fine American ale, actually. Usually I drink Stella Artois, but every now and then I'm partial to a Brooklyn, since I had one when I was in New York. It was very nice. It's very nice here. The evening tonight is very still. It's a very, very nice summer's evening. Right. Have a vote, guys. I'll let you decide who we're going to go with, Leon or Claire. Most votes will be the one. That's one for Claire. 2 Claire, 1 Leon. That's 2 for Claire. Any more takers? Oh, it's Claire. It's going to be Claire. It's because this is based on the GameCube version. It was all run from one disc, and you just simply selected, you know that option there. Anyone who's ever played the GameCube version will be familiar. I want to see if I can turn that frame rate counter off. There we go.
Resident Evil 2.
I'll just let it play.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special Stars Unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members.
I don't know why the GameCube version always has that weird jump in this scene. Like a few versions of the game have it.
Umbrella Corporation's experiments.
I don't know why. So the cutscenes don't look any better. There is a FMV mod you can get, but it doesn't do that. It certainly doesn't make them look as good as the Source Next versions.
I'm finally here.
Guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
Hello? Is anyone here?
I do like, in one way, how they inverted this. I said this on the podcast. How, instead of the trucker going to the gas station, we do this time. You know, Leon and Claire do.
Look, I'm sorry I bothered you, okay? Just don't come any closer. Are you listening?
But I can't stress how much
Get down!
I vastly prefer this version of Claire.
We can't
to
stay
the
out.
remake one.
Head to the police station. It'll be a
I mean,
lot
this
safer.
Claire straight away is endearing and likeable, whereas I think Claire in the remake 2 is very cold until pretty much the third act of the game.
Buckle up.
Okay. What's going on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went
Great.
insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
You're all mocking me, but I don't see no 1969 on Leon's fucking
Name's Leon Kennedy.
uniform
Nice to
there.
meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
Hey,
I'm looking plenty hard enough, believe me.
Sure.
I'm terrible for sort of
There's a gun inside.
scrutinising
Better take a
details
peek.
like this.
you okay?
Still in one piece.
Hey, that maniac's gonna whip us! Run! Claire,
Leon!
I'm okay. Head to the station. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
That's very kind of you, Smiley. Thank you. You are my first ever subscriber. I appreciate that very much. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hit HD mode now. Yeah, it's sharper. It says Italian food, homemade pizzas and pasta, and it said fuck all in the original background. I can never remember which version which, because some difficulties. There's 2 zombies in that place there, just outside the shop.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you
Nick,
doing?
Twitch Prime is the
Don't shoot! I'm a
free
human.
Twitch subscription you get from being an Amazon Prime member. So Smiley has very kindly given me a Twitch
Sorry
Prime
about
sub
that,
for this
babe.
month, because Twitch
I
subscriptions
thought
last
you
per
were
month,
one of them.
and you can use your Twitch Prime one on a
What's
different
going on in
place
this
each month.
town?
Hold on.
That's very kind of him.
I ain't got no clue, darling. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
If you start playing Street Fighter 5, Mr. Spencer, I will happily spar. So again, this is what worries me. We're going to see 1969 because you can see more work's been done here. So like, look at the parts and repair. That's actually a completely different font they've used for the HD background. So similar to the Resident Evil 4 version, like some work has actually gone into this. And in this version, wow, Claire's face is, I've never even seen that artwork before. And there's brand new icons. If that's the Stars knife from Dark Side Chronicles, I'm not going to be happy either. But I don't think it is. Hi Smiley, thank you again for the sub. I'm used to the 180-degree turn of the bloody the new PC version. Doesn't it? Is that an original piece of art, or? I can safely say I don't think I've ever seen that artwork before in my life. So there's something endearing about the pixel art, but that's just me being really, really nitpicky. I'm mainly always sub to the Capcom Fighters account because I like to be able to go back through their archive. I watch a hell of a lot of Street Fighter now. Actually, won some money from Problem X winning the major today, the ranking event today. Yeah, indeed. So, you literally run their version of Dolphin. It's its own packaged executable in a file, and once you run it, all you do is just press the delete key to toggle the backgrounds. There's a little bit of a delay as you load up the remake background, or the HD background, should I say? But I mean, the difference in some backgrounds is just staggering. Most dangerous taste. Most dangerous taste. Because I've dallied, and I'm not going to be able to probably do the these zombies are here now. Should have gone in and changed all the... Hello Oracle Dragon, nice to see you. This is the HD version of RE2. We just had a look at Resident Evil 3. There's a couple of things in it that appalled me, but for the most part, it's a really good version of the game. We're now investigating Resident Evil 2 to see if the same rather offensive detail exists in this version. Do you think they've edited in the event from file 2? Let's go have a look. No. Let's try and get the Phantom Gate. Yay! They even upscaled this. They even edited this to make it more in line with fucking Resident Evil 3 look. So in the classic Phantom Gate background, there's nothing there. But in the HD version, they've put the Resident Evil 3 edition in. That's That's almost impressive. But we're not done yet, guys. We're gonna find out the true horror of it, aren't we? Here we go. Yeah, I know it's coming. I know it is. Yeah, there it is. Fucking hell. So close to greatness. So close to greatness. Look at this shit. If they've changed this and not bothered putting in the Nemesis broken window, then I despair. Smiley, the 1969 addition to the Stars logo is a remake 2 thing. The museum was originally renovated and changed into the police station in the late 80s, but for some reason the remake 2 decided to revise that, and as a result added the 1969 to the logo. Yoke's taking the piss out of me, but he knows I'm right. And for some reason, for this remaster, this HD background version of Resident Evil 2, they have decided to add 1969 and thus make this non-canon. Are you ready for some Marv?
Hang in there. Are you the only officer left in the building?
Who are you?
Claire Redfield. I'm looking for my brother Chris.
We lost contact with him over 10 days ago. Chris, Jill Barry. Every last STARS team member has disappeared.
Hey, look at this. It's actually like backstory. It's not just he's on vacation.
What happened?
About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving these zombie-like creatures in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members
RE2 remake is the
discovered
canon
that
one. I
Umbrella
don't
was
think you'll
behind
find anyone arguing
everything,
with you there.
at the risk of their own lives. But no
Remake
one
2 is
believed them.
non-canon in my
Are you
opinion.
okay?
Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other
It
rooms.
contradicts too much
Here,
in terms of
take
layout
this
and
key card.
detail and things
You
like
should
that.
be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go.
But
The first
Just go.
remake, the remake of Resident Evil 1, I would
Okay.
say the remake is canon now.
just hang in there. I'll be back soon.
You know, it was made by like most of the original team. It doesn't do any specific changes to the story, bar adding Lisa. And for the most part, the story is completely intact as it was, with a few tweaks and changes here and there. Resident Evil 2, they did fundamentally change quite well, most of it. Including events that directly contradict Resident Evil 3, Outbreak. It's still a fairly good looking character model, that is, for its time. And by far the superior costume, by the way. Metric. Yeah, there does seem to be a weird delay in this that wasn't occurring in Resident Evil 3 for some reason. I must say I haven't tweaked with the settings on this emulator very much at all. If I'd switch it back to... Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any delay with the background, so I dare say it's something I'll be able to fix with some setting tweaks. But even the transition, when I press the delete key, the transition between classic and new is a bit slower than what it was with the Resident Evil 3 version. Hello, Sonny. Nice to see you. We're looking at the HD patch on both this and Resident Evil 3, and for the most part it's been absolutely glorious. I'll let everybody else fill you in because they'll only mock me if I talk about it anymore. This is a fuck off, yoke. And the fucking hell, the window! The window! They did it! Well, that... Oh, Christ. That makes the, that makes it all the more outrageous for 1969 then. Oh my god! How can they giveth in one hand and taketh away in the other? How can they make something canon and thus non-canon at the same time? Look at that! Look at how glorious that is! Oh my word! That's literally all it took. That's all it took! If this had been the only change we'd had tonight, I'd be saying this thing is the best thing ever. Honestly, I would have been. I'd been sat here going, these guys, they've fucking done it. They've done what Capcom couldn't in their subsequent revisions. And oh, why? Why are these things sent to torture me? I love the music to this game. It's a series best. I wouldn't care if it didn't break canon. If 1969 was the date all along and they just simply updated the logo to match later games, then that's fine, but some backgrounds it's really apparent. So you really need like foreground elements, but I mean here's a good one I showed for Resident Evil 3. So if you look at the plaque in the original art, it's in it's you can't read it at all, and the statue is very pixelated. And then when you go HD, the statue becomes immediately clearer, and the plaque is actually new art. Sorry guys, I'm back. I just muted the mic temporarily. So yes, Mr. GT. This is the fan HD patch of both Resident Evil 2 and 3. We had Resident Evil 3 running at the beginning of the stream. It uses a pre-packaged Dolphin emulator, and you need ISOs or ROMs, if you will, of the American versions. You can get the PAL version to work, but you do need to use some tweaking to get it to work. And this is the end result. So with a touch of a toggle of a key, delete button, you can look at the original art, and with the delete key again, you can run the high definition textures. That they've used a particularly advanced upscaler. What have you been banned on, George? Oh Christ. So there are some minor drawbacks with the upscale project, and the first of which is the fact that they can't do anything with the FMVs with this version. So you are stuck with. I mean, they've done some minor upscale work if you've got the FMV patch, which is another couple of gig. I didn't download it for the purposes of tonight, but they're a far cry from how good like the Source Next backgrounds are. But George, if you weren't on just in time, they have done something like in Resident Evil 2. They've fixed the Nemesis window. There's the original artwork. I never even realised. Did you guys even realise they modified the window? Did they seriously make the window bigger? I never even realised. Well, you know what it's going to mean, don't you? But that means it's... Moment, sir. One moment. So GT, you get to see this straight away from the menu. There's the classic menu as everyone remembers it. There's the new one.
Resident Evil 3.
It all
But I really do miss the Source Next FMVs. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it works. It works. It's absolutely spot on. I mean, as great as the backgrounds look, the deal breaker is the FMVs, and the PC version has decent-ish looking backgrounds
the monsters have overtaken the
anyway. For Resident Evil 3 in particular. Resident Evil 2,
I'm still
okay, you're stuck with the pixelated backgrounds, but the new version of Resident Evil 2 that RE Behind the Mask has done, which has added the 180-degree turn and things like that, make it really, really playable. The FMVs are stuck, Smiley, with the... I don't know what resolution the GameCube version had of the FMVs, but we've been spoiled in the last sort of few years. In 2006, there was a version released in Japan on PC on DVD, and they're referred to as the Source Next versions, and they basically have the uncompressed, full quality, full screen FMVs. They look incredible. I've done them on stream previously, and they're on my YouTube account. But they're staggeringly good. The GameCube version is stuck with the classic, the older, lower quality FMVs. I mean, the GameCube versions are better in that they run at 60 frames a second, but there's still issues. This is a good background to show off the pixelation anyway, for the likes of GT who weren't here earlier. So you can look at the railings and things like that, and then when we switch to HD, it's just immaculate. They have, and I haven't downloaded it yet, but I've looked at the screen comparisons, and they are better, but they're still a long way off the Source Next release. A long way off. But in terms of actual sort of gameplay, no version of this game looks as good as this. These backgrounds are arguably better than they were back in the day. I've never played this on easy before, and this is absolutely preposterous. I did not know you had access to all this. That is ridiculous. Oh, that's a hell of a question that is. Maybe I ought to do a video. Oh, best save room music. I don't know. I don't think it would be this for me personally. I really do love a secure place, but then I'm really partial to the dead aim one. Source Next does have pixelated backgrounds. Yeah, I know there has been some talk of trying to get these upscale backgrounds working with that. So if they do, then the Source Next version that RE Behind the Mask has done will be undoubtedly the best. As I said earlier, though, they didn't restore the missing Dario line in this, though. To my knowledge, only the PlayStation 1 version has. I think all subsequent versions from the original PC have missed it. Sorry, PlayStation 1 have missed it. I'm just going to leave this because we're only going to go and look at the modified Nemesis window, and then I'll probably hand you over to Sonny if he's planning to do this, because it's getting quite late and I've got work early. I wasn't even planning on streaming tonight. It was more just a case of I downloaded these today, and then when I gave them a try, I thought, oh my god, I've got to show people this, because this is immense. So I had a free evening and just thought, let's chuck it on a stream. Hey guys, this is how far Billy Cohen got. Sorry, Billy.
Get away!
Brad, hang in there. Why isn't someone doing something about this?
Yoke has the most love for Neptune, because that call he did about the music pack was absolute gold.
Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
They can't spell music right. What the hell is musky? Top right. Pro. Some classic typos in this series. You know it's a great series when the typos actually extend to the box art as well. Fire effects haven't changed that much, they've just smoothed them out a little bit. You are going to... I'm sorry to have to do this, GT, but you're about to go through the same pain that I did. These guys have been mocking me like fuck for the last few minutes about this. I've been an absolute laughing stock for how much ranting I've done, and really I think it's perfectly warranted. But we could do with GT Live actually, couldn't we? But we did notice earlier on how good the RPD looks in HD, because the upscale has done really nice work with the actual building and makes it really stand out against the sky. And I'd never really noticed it in this kind of detail before. But yeah, the RPD looks really nice. The Phantom Gate camera angle in Resident Evil 2 now has RPD, Raccoon Police, on it, which was a nice addition. No, no. There is a change to some of that background art that people got to see my live reaction for, and I'm still not over it, to be honest. But it's a deal breaker for this release. It's a deal breaker. I forget fucking auto aim's not on. I really do suck at this game. I'm not even confident enough that I'd be able to survive from caution. I can't do the dodging. I was talking about this to Kendo earlier. See, like, for me, I just find the dodging only works when it wants to. He doesn't even drop a fucking item, look. The tight twat. Right. Hopefully I was quick enough for GT not to notice there. Right, GT, I want you to gaze at this artwork here. I want you to look at this background, this wide-angle shot of the fantastic main hall. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the delete key, and I'm going to bring in the HD upscale background. Sonny, I know you've already seen it judging by your reaction. I want GT to type in the chat what he sees the moment I press the delete key. It's on this angle, and if it's anything like, you know, if it speaks to you like it did to me, it will stand out like fuck. Right, okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have you seen it, GT? Tell me what you see, GT. Tell me. Tell us all. We will guide you through this pain. I'll tell you what, actually. I'm just going to go back outside and grab Brad's card to see if they've done a change there as well. I can already see it. They did it, guys. You're gonna like this. If you didn't see it just then you're gonna like what they've done here. Look at that photo. So if we go classic, and then we go here, that's quality. No, it fucking didn't. Oh, what, you mean the badge on the wallet did it? No, it didn't. Oh, I missed that. I'll have to check that back. Clip it. Someone clip that. Fucking hell. Oh, that is just, it's pure agony. In one decision, in one simple decision, they've made the HD version of this game non-canon. 0131. I don't know, because the disappointing thing, if the password was 1969, I think I'm fucking mad. Every other bit of work on this is exquisite. I mean, these backgrounds, they look incredible. If Capcom took these backgrounds and released it now as a PlayStation 4 game, Xbox One and new PC versions, there would not be a single disappointed person at all. I haven't talked properly. But doing just silly changes like that, it just guys, it just annoys me. I won't lie, it does. Especially going to the effort of like changing the Phantom Gate from Resident Evil 2 to match Resident Evil 3, that works. Changing the Nemesis window, that works. These are all good decisions. But no, it's something that I'll have to do. So fucking hell, yeah, the window is bigger. I never, you know, who can say, and I want you guys to be completely honest with me, who honestly knew that in Resident Evil 3 the window was bigger? Because I don't think I've ever noticed in, well yeah, in over 20 years of playing these games. I never knew they went back and revised the window. Let's give me zombies this time. So thank you very much, Yoke. It was nice for you to come on and abuse me. So thank you very much. Cheers. They've also gone in and changed other bits of artwork, so like the basketball photo here, or the poster is actually different art. I can't talk tonight. My voice is failing me, guys, and it's throwing my speech all out. So yeah, they've changed the artwork of that poster there. But for the long-time fans, the ones who've been here since the beginning, will notice a very nice piece of art here. What was her name? Is Nay or something? I can't remember. But there she is in all her splendour, Inzi. I think the problem, I think the problem I have with this project is all I wanted them to do was just upscale the background. I didn't want them to go in and start changing the art. And I know in some places that's required, because if you're gonna make changes to the backgrounds to make them more sharper, then textures like this don't wash. If you're gonna go to the effort of upscaling all the backgrounds, but then leave that because obviously no text probably exists. You can't upscale that because it's just gonna upscale pixels. So they had to go in and fix that. And I suppose that's fine. I don't have a problem with things like that because you are actually making the art work. Otherwise, it would just still look like a blur. But to actually go in and change the artwork is where I draw the line. And yeah, I definitely think they should be called out for it. Because fucking stars key. For the most part, this project is absolutely fantastic, and the work done is absolutely exquisite. I'm all for changing, the window in Resident Evil 2 to reflect the Nemesis bursting through it. I'm all for adding the RPD logo to that gate because it all just helps make the timeline and the sequence of events all the more cohesive, but just adding something like 1969 to the RPD logos, it just pisses me off. It shouldn't, but it does. Because it's specifically going against the canon, the pre-established canon. And I like to think, guys, that I'm not meaning to come across as elitist or anything like that, but I'd like to think we're not the only ones calling them out for that. Well, yeah, exactly. I can't remember the number. Was it 1013? I can't fucking remember. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Smiley. I refuse to. Wait, it hasn't even got a 9. I can't even pick the fucking thing up. Look, I tell you what. It's 11 o'clock here, so this is probably the perfect time to end it. So I will say thank you very much for the giggles and the laughs tonight, guys. And final sort of words are that this is an exquisite project. It's my first time properly enjoying it with you guys. It's the first time I've really gazed on it. It's the best this game has ever looked, without a doubt. The backgrounds, I think the backgrounds look better than I think I remember them on a CRT. But some of the changes are not good. And when I say the changes, I genuinely mean the 1969 addition to the RPD logos. And I know it's minor. I know there'll be lots of people watching this back thinking, "What the fuck is he going on about?" But it's these details, and it's these details which keep this series going. So I hope they, if we have I don't know whether they'll take anything on board that we say, but for the most part, I would say this project is very positive. I'm very impressed with both games. There's just that slight thing, but other than that, yeah, it's well worth trying out. If you've got access to the ROMs of the GameCube versions, it's very, very easy to set up. And like I say, it's well worth giving a try. So until next time, I might do like an easy run mode of the run of this, and a rookie mode of Resident Evil 2, and then we can just go through the game and with a toothpick go through the backgrounds and see what other changes that they've made. So I will love you and leave you guys, and then the next one will hopefully be the part 2 of the Resident Evil 7 VR stream. I've still got a few technical things I want to try and sort out before the next time, but until then, yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was a good turnout tonight. Thanks again, Smiley, for the sub, and I will see you guys all very, very soon. Cheerio and goodbye, and have great weeks until the next weekend. So cheerio.